Hello and welcome to Zinespiration. Today we've got Aqeel Parvez, and here are some of his zines. Today we'll be chatting with Aqeel. He is a poet and a creator. Thank you for joining us today, Aqeel.
Right, thanks for having me on.
So, Aqeel, why zines? Why did you want to put your poetry into zines as opposed to elsewhere?
I kind of got started on Instagram, I guess, and then I just discovered once I sifted through all the bad writing and the Instagram poetry, I kind of found some good writers, and they were publishing. A lot of them, I guess, Craig included. A lot of people were publishing to Analog Submission Press. I did my first chapbook with them, and I know it was a good way to kind of get started. A chapbook is shorter; it's only like it can be anywhere from I guess 5 to 15 poems. Maybe it was kind of a nice place to get started. And I don't know. I kind of like the fact that there's only 25 copies. It's a limited edition, and then just gone from there. I guess. Got a few more out more recently, and got more zines planned in the future. Yeah.
Currently, you've I showed this just as the intro, but this is the one you self-published yourself. Anthem of Purgatory. Very, very cool. How many copies did you make for this?
I made 25 copies. I printed out. Yeah, it sold pretty well. It come out. I think I printed it late last year. I've still got some copies left. It took the piss, to be honest. I had to like learn how to print and everything. My printer was dodgy. Basic things like printing were like very difficult and stuff. But it was cool putting it all together. Like even choosing the paper and the cover of the paper, and so it was all kind of enjoyed doing all that and printing out.
You're pretty new to zines. Like these are fairly new for you, right? How do you find like getting into the medium? Was it daunting? Were you a little nerve-wracking about it, or did you just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna dive right in and do it"?
Yeah, I was never really nervous. I just kind of put the poems together, and the first one was with the publisher. So I guess they decide if it's good enough, kind of. If you submit to a press you respect, and you're alongside like other good, who you think are good writers, and then you get accepted, I guess. Then someone else has decided for you, and then I guess I am kind of new to it though. Zine swaps are kind of cool. I'm getting into more of them, swapping zines with people, and then the collaboration, I think is a great thing. It's tough to find, I guess, a collaborator and someone that like complements your work. But the one with the Live Mortis zine that I did recently, I think it's worked. It just come together very naturally, but it's worked really well.
Yeah, they do give you a lot of control, and like you say, you like the fact that it's you can make 25 copies, printing them straight away, getting them made up, and going, that's it, that's the limited press I'm doing, and then you can move on fresh with the next one.
With this one, actually, we've done a second printing, or Live Mortis has done a second printing. Actually, it was a good response. I think it's because
this one here, the flame flickers. Yeah. I can see why. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. The like you said before, the way that the photos are matching the poetry is, some of them are, it's really well done. I can see why it's sold out. Like, it's sold so fast.
But yeah, it's nice to have it. Nice to have got rid of the copies, to be honest. And I've done a few. I did quite a lot of swaps this time, which I didn't do many swaps for my previous one. But it's a nice way to kind of like, this is how this zine came about, is actually through your channel. So I watched one of your reviews of Live Mortis's zine, saw that, and just I think I just got in touch with him and said, do you want to do a swap of my other one? Yeah. And then I'd kind of decided that I wanted to collaborate with him, but we held off for a second. I had to look at his stuff, he had to look at mine, and then I guess we liked each other's work, and then just send him stuff. So it's kind of cool how it's come about through your channel.
It's the zine community itself. I got nothing to do with it.
It's kind of cool how it's all come about.
So for anyone watching this that's never seen your work or seen you on Instagram, and they see the titles of the zines that you've got, what are some of the themes and topics that you touch on in there, in case they're interested in taking a look?
I find it kind of difficult, really, to classify them. Like, I had to think about this though when you kind of write in the Instagram caption when you're trying to promote it, and you have to kind of summarize. I guess for the latest one, it's kind of themes of maybe, I would say, individuality. some existentialism maybe. Then you got some love poems in there as well, I guess. Oh, it's just kind of making sense of life, I guess.
Well, what led you to poetry in the first place?
Well, I started just writing stuff in my notes, like on my notes app in my phone. Just just if I heard a good quote or a good line, or someone said something, or even just to-do lists and stuff. And then other times, if I was having something in my life where I just wanted to make sense of my thoughts, I would journal. And then I was just in bed one night. It must have been like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And I was just on Instagram and I saw this Insta poetry and stuff. I used to read a lot when I was younger in school, and I remember writing, and I wrote like a story then as well. But I never really followed that up. I never really like continued writing or anything, or even reading. I kind of stopped reading for a long time, and then yeah, I just started reading again in like my third year of uni. I think I started with 1984, and then I read On the Road and Bukowski, and I've just started reading more from then. I just started writing, and a lot of the poems were shit at first, and they were kind of Insta poetry. It was very short because I was trying to do that and trying to get more followers, but then I soon got away from that. The writing got better. I started reading more and following better writers. Yeah, I try and write every day. Not so much in the past few months, but yeah, I try and read every day as well. Try and get 20 pages in every day.
Do you ever look back at your old stuff from when you were young? Because I know that, I'll find my old stuff from when I was young, and I'll have such a chuckle at it because I'll see something and say to myself, look at me trying to use a big word to sound like, fancy and smart, but it doesn't fit and it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I love finding my old stuff. It's just total shite.
Oh yeah, I sometimes go through my Instagram page, and I've done this maybe 5 times in the past couple of years, and I'll just go through some of the posts, and I'll just be disgusted. You kind of feel ashamed that you've even wrote something, that you put it, because that you're looking back, that you've even put it out there. It's kind of embarrassing. So I'll just like quietly delete those posts. But then you sometimes find something that you thought, that's actually decent, and you're maybe a little bit surprised. That's actually, there's something good.
What I would always write to the title. So it's like, we used to joke about it, say it was AC/DC songwriting. You'd come up with the song title first and make sure that was catchy and, enough to grab your attention, and then, write a song about it or write a poem based on the title that you've come up with. So what's your process? Do you have a theme or an idea or an experience that happens and you just have to get it on paper? How do you write?
I try not to be too structured, I guess. I try to just sit down. A lot of the time, something will just come to me. It's strange how it comes, because sometimes you'll try and write something and, it won't be very good. And you'll be trying very hard to, try and get the sentence, or you'll be editing as you're going. And then other times, I think a lot of the best things come this way. It'll just kind of, it'll just come down from nowhere, and you'll just in one go write a full poem, and then you might read it back. Like I might go back on my notes like a week later and look back and be like, I'll look at it and be like, that's very good. And you won't even kind of remember. It doesn't really feel like you've written it, because even while you were writing it, doesn't seem like, it's kind of like you're in the zone, or you've just switched off and the words just come. And I do most of my writing though in my notes app. So I'm typing it, but yeah, a lot of the best ones come kind of naturally, and then other ones are very deliberate. You have to kind of, and then some of them you'll read back and they won't make much sense, and you'll have to edit. A lot of my poems now are coming kind of naturally, but I think I've lost kind of the habit a bit. But normally I'd sit down for like 30 minutes. I think what helped my writing, or kind of find a voice, if you say, people kind of try and find their voice, which is, I guess, when you're writing at the start, you're trying to write, so you're trying to sound like a writer. Whereas I feel like what you need to do is sound like yourself. And I think a good way to, I guess, find your voice, if you want to call it that, is to journal. So what I'll do is I'll just go in the journal and I'll just start writing anything, like what's happening in my day, random thoughts, I've heard it described as, I read maybe a blog post, heard it described as an idea dump. So you just write anything, and then I've probably got some good stuff in my journals, kind of thoughts as well. And then I think that helps you kind of find your voice and find your style, I guess.
So it's kind of more like a free form, and then you go back and kind of formulate it from there?
Yeah, it's kind of free form. I'm not very deliberate in picking a theme or anything. Sometimes an event will happen, like I'll have a conversation with someone. Other times I'll see like a line, and then something will kind of come from that line.
Wordplay is my second favorite kind of play.
What's the first?
It was the
foreplay. I knew he was going to say that.
What do you think the future of zines are?
Oh, you've seen a lot more online zines, I guess. But I think the whole point of zines and DIY culture is kind of is printed. Like, I think there's still something about it's like having a book in your hand or reading a Kindle. I think if you're a purist, I guess, I mean, I read on the Kindle app on my phone sometimes, but it's not the same as reading a book. I mean, that's what most people that read a lot will tell you, to be honest. But yeah, there's something.
Kindles have been around for how long now, right? Like Kindles are well over 10 years of being around, but they're still bookstores.
I'll just see a book and I want to buy it and read it, as soon as possible. I'll get it off like websites or Amazon and just get it delivered. And then I'll go to like Waterstones. But yeah, the zine community. No, I think it'll keep going, to be honest. Everything is getting more digital, and I guess there will be like a lot of digital zines and stuff. Some people that make zines are moving into that, but I think there's always going to be a place for, the old school kind of do it yourself, print it and read it by hand and the analog. I think there's always going to be a place for that. I don't think it's going anywhere, like you said. Some websites do their zines and you can view it on their website and you can flip through the pages, and then at the same time they can print that zine and there's a paper version of it.
Yeah. Okay, so today I want to say thank you for joining us today. That was very, very cool. I really enjoyed our chat. I got a lot from it. I hope also people watching did. I hope also Ryan did too. And all of your links will be down below to your social media. So thank you very much for joining us.
All right, cheers, man. It was great. Great chat. Cheers, Ryan. Cheers,
thanks,
mate.
Aqeel.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Shades out there.